with us in the past. Oh, thank you so much. You're so good about that. I'm guessing that's either my colleagues who I'm going to introduce really quickly here. So the real talent here are my colleagues, Emily Salgado. Emily, you want to say a quick hello?
Hi, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm super excited to be here and listening to all the great information that it's going to be said today. And yeah, thank you.
And
I am the student support specialist of the NEST.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're so happy to have Emily. She's a former CRC graduate and then went on to get her CSU BA in child development. So she's a wonderful person to have on our team, aside from the wonderful qualities that she has individually too. And we are so thankful for her because she is joining us from her vacation and did not have to come. And so we are so thankful. And if you all know how that is on Flex Week, that's kind of how it goes, right? And then someone who is commonly called the Queen of Everything, which may have been taken from April Robinson, right? Who is also the Queen of Everything. And my colleague, Jennifer Patrick. Would you mind doing a little introduction, Jennifer?
Certainly. Hello, everyone. Let's see, for the purpose of today, I'm the director technically of the NEST Family Resource Center, also of the Child Development Center, among many other roles on campus that we won't get into. But this has been a labor of love that we are very excited to finally open doors to. We have appreciated the support of our college administration across the board. It's been a great project to be working on with this amazing team. And I'm just really excited to share this program with you all and with our students and get this going. So thank you.
Thank you. And you mentioned administration. I'm so glad that you mentioned that. We should also mention facilities, IT, everyone who supported us in terms of cleaning and all of those work orders that went through too. So I'll just start that out, as well as the people who kind of populated a lot of ideas that we have started implementing and will still implement throughout our time. So I'm going to get started on content. Some of you may be wondering, where is the NEST? Where's the Family Resource Center? And so it is located within the Child Development Center building, but it is not the same as the Child Development Center. Very clear distinction there. We're on the north side, which, by the way, I had to look up because not great at north, south, east, west, but it's on the north side. So if you know where the parking garage is, you probably have seen the Child Development Center. And so it's in between the science building and the parking garage. Super excited to have in person along with virtual services. And so just to kind of see what we can do to kind of address maybe some ideas that you may have come to this presentation with, wanted to see if you would do a quick poll. Jennifer, are you able to launch that, or would you like me to launch that? Thank you. So it's asking, what is your goal for attending this Flex? And you can choose multiple selections. Would like to know more about student parents or student raising families? Would you like to know more about the Family Resource Center? Would like to partner or collaborate with the NEST Family Resource Center? Would like to support the NEST Family Resource Center in another way, or other? And then you can indicate that in the chat. And if you are on a phone that, you know, it is difficult for you to maybe articulate that, we'd love it if it could go to the poll, which helps us kind of archive that data. But if not, go ahead and put it in the chat, because we do want to get everyone's voice in whatever way that they're coming to us today. So remember that you can do multiple. We hope that it will be multiple, honestly. So So a little bit more, I'm seeing a little bit more about the Nest Resource Center, and a little bit about knowing about student parents, and many of us already know about student parents, but maybe consider a little bit more deeper, like the needs of student parents, perhaps, now that we're thinking of a more dedicated space and dedicated programming, and then support and general support. And I think I covered it all. So thank you so much. If you don't mind, Jennifer, just keeping that poll or closing that poll, that would be great. Okay. All right. Thank you all for contributing your ideas to that. Jennifer, if you don't mind kind of monitoring chat, I want to make sure that I'm not ignoring any questions, comments, or anything. I do want us to have more of a conversation, interaction. And so as we go through, I know how that feels to have like a question in your mind and then be, down the line and going, oh, it's too late for me to ask that. So please pop that in the chat, unmute. I love interaction with people in Zoom. I also know that sometimes listening works better for where you are. So a couple of things that are going to be happening over the course of this semester is we're going to have a number of student outreach events and creating a community of student parents. I like to say students raising families, because I really do believe that it's not just our parents of little ones. I think it's also our parents. I'm a parent of 20-year-olds, and I always think, ooh, there's a little extra support you might need for those ones who are in college or leaving college as well. And then some of you may also experience that, you're taking care of your aging family members as well. And that's also some support as well. So we're still generating our ideas around those populations, but we very much want to capture everyone who is raising a family or part of a family. So on Thursdays, we'll be having Los Rios Parent Connect. I'll explain what that is. Also on Thursdays, that will be in the day, and then Thursdays will be our family and parenting workshops or education and discussion. And then Fridays, we will open for music, movement, and stories. Super excited about this, to have people in person come and join along with their children. And this is for, although we're targeting services often for students, we absolutely want CRC staff to join if and when they're interested in doing so. And then we have a number of ideas for special events, which I'll tell you a little bit about. So first of all, Los Rios Parents Connect. This is an opportunity for our student parents to really get together and just talk about their shared experience as student parents. Oftentimes this happens, when we were physically on campus, more in the hallways or outside a classroom door, or when you have a break. But there hasn't really been a place where they're coming together and regularly talking about things like discipline, or talking about things like, how do you juggle your time as a student parent? Because we know that time poverty is a huge issue for student parents. Or where are you taking your children in terms of childcare support in other ways, for example. So this begins September 8th, and it will continue every second and fourth Thursday at 6 p.m. This is virtual to be able to gather more students and then allow them to participate in this group in that way. And then Thursday was chosen because if you know how the campus runs, we have less classes scheduled on Thursday evening. So that was kind of the goal, to not have any classes, especially on-ground classes, interrupt our time together, or compete, I should say. The other thing that will be happening, and so you'll notice that this overlaps with the fourth Thursday. On some of those Thursdays, there'll be family or parent education and discussions that happen. I'm calling that Thoughtful Thursday, just to kind of engage in, those topics that may have come up in conversation, or that we have specialists on our campus much more beyond just, we in ECE and child development, we have a special expertise in the youngest one, but we have such a cadre of information across our campus that could be brought to families. So I'll give some examples of that. I used to be in a division with the accounting department, and they did tax preparation and some of those. How great would it be for us to connect and have somebody talk about, those things in a timely way to support our student parents. So it's a bit of the idea of like connecting with each other, discussing things, but also getting perhaps an easy button from people who have expertise, both as classified professionals who have expertise, faculty who have expertise, management, administration, right? It's not a one type thing, right? We want to include as many as we can. On the second and fourth Fridays, we'll be having music, movement, and stories, calling these Fun Fridays. And this is mostly for our infants, toddlers, and preschoolers, but notice there's a plus. And the reason I say this is because if you have children, you will notice that even when something is targeted towards infant and toddlers or towards preschoolers, school-age children, even young teens, they dig it. Like, even when it doesn't seem cool, they will do it alongside younger children. And so notice that there is that plus there, because we do want to be inclusive in our programming as well. And then special events, super excited about this. And we really want the community to generate most of these special events ideas. A couple of things that we plan to do for sure over this semester are an open house. I'll tell a little bit about that. And that's an open house of the CRC Nest space. Very excited for you all to see the space. And then also a STEM night. And I think this could be a very fun interdisciplinary where families can come and they perhaps do cup stacking or different ideas. If you are connected at all in some of these topics, reach out to us at the CRC Nest. Jennifer, do you have the link, our link of links to put in the chat? Okay. We have a number of links to provide for you, and those will bring you to a document that you can save and print as well, whatever is your ideal way of consuming it. And it has a link to the presentation that I'm giving you today. Also a link to a Spotify playlist that we're collaborating with a couple of people in our early childhood and child development center, the teachers there as well, to make both a children's playlist, but also a family playlist. And if you are into music like I am, send me a message. I'd love to add you as a collaborator. But right now that link is a share link for you with some really great music, and we'll kind of evolve together. Our open house. Do you want to talk a little bit about our open house, Jennifer?
Sorry, I had to get out of there, get off my mute. So yeah, we are super excited to be able to open our doors. Like I said earlier, we've been getting our furniture and everything in. So now we're going to put all our materials there and welcome you all on September 1st and 2nd. We figured we'd get 2 days in there so to capture everybody's available time, hopefully. We'd like to invite you to drop in for a tour of the Nest Family Resource Center to meet our key players here and to just stay and play with us for a while. It's okay for adults to play with the toys too and color or use Play-Doh or anything. It's okay. We like to do that too. I have toys in my office and they're not necessarily for the children, but yeah, we would love to have you all come by, and we've got some gifts for students as well.
Yeah, and we're excited about that. A couple of things that we're planning in terms of giveaways for student parents will be some of the essential items for those who have, and this will happen throughout the semester. Formula, if you followed any of the news, formula, not easy to get. Formula, diapers, some of those essential items. And other things that we are going to be working on is play kit. So once students come to our center, like little scarves that and with songs along with them, so that students feel like they're taking a little piece of the nest with them. And that's really the goal, right? For us to provide programming that will continue their relationship with their family and the second generation, the future of CRC, but also to promote it as well. So anyways, I could go on my soapbox, but I will not, because we'll just go through updates here. Here's a couple of things that are in the physical space in the nest. So if you're wondering there and you're like, can we get a tour? We probably could schedule specialty tours, but September 1st and 2nd will be when we're open 10 to 12 for all of the campus to come and visit us. We have a lactation room. We've had a lactation room for a little bit in the Child Development Center, but we're doing some modifications to the lactation room and some upgrades as well. And so if you know students who need to pump or feed their infant, please send them our way. Right now, access to the lactation room is going through the Child Development Center main doors, and then they'll provide access to that lactation room. Emily and Jennifer, feel free to unmute and add as I go, please. Please do. And then the nest, and this is really so exciting. The nest, it has now a family-friendly study lounge where children are able to play alongside their parent who is perhaps on their laptop or studying in some capacity. And we're in the process of also working towards integrating both the early childhood program and then also paid employees that will help with the play and supervision. We currently have a few of them, but we expect that we will be growing over time. So very exciting stuff there. And so I talked about the family-friendly study lounge, study and play. Also the idea that we will have these playful experiences and different targeted events. So sometimes those will be evening events and sometimes those will be on Friday. Tried to really work with around the campus's schedule so that we were not missing out on all our Tuesday, Thursday students or all of our Monday, Wednesday students, for example. There's also a meeting room in the nest, which is quite nice. We are prepared to work and collaborate with people across the campus who want to push in services or push in opportunities. We'd really love for eventually the nest to know that on such and such date, EOPS is going to come and visit us, for example, one of our great partners, or Mikasa, another great partner of ours, is going to be available at that time. So please reach out to us because we'd love to coordinate those opportunities and market them alongside your program marketing. And then there is a beautiful outdoor space. If you go between the Child Development Center and the Science Building, you might notice that the Science Building is very excitingly got some new Adirondack chairs. We are on the opposite side, the beautiful grass area there that is doing okay in the drought at this point, but we anticipate being able to have services outside and gather together and have days where we're able to drop blankets and read together as families, for example. And then finally, this is kind of our summary of the nest. I'll give you a moment just to kind of read that. And I did add a shout out to Derek Santiago in graphics design for creating this for the nest. We do appreciate all the work that the PIO office has done. They've been incredibly supportive of getting our website up and our program up. And Jennifer, you don't mind just resending the link just in case we had any in or out participants, that would be great. So we do need your input, and I'm looking for hopefully your response in chat. How might the CRC Family Resource Center integrate your work? So as I mentioned, we not only have meeting spaces available where we can target student parents, we also want to look at, intentional co-promotion of things and how we can partner with you all. Whether you're working in student support, whether you're classified professional, faculty, admin, dean, in the many roles, management, that we all kind of see. And then, so I put a secondary question: what ideas might you have for the nest? So we really want to open up. We know that we're better and we're stronger when we're together and we have multiple voices together. So please just take a moment and consider one or both of these questions. If you want to put a number 1 because you're answering the first one, that would be great. And if you want to put a number 2, if you're answering the second one, just in case perhaps it seems a little ambiguous. So I'll give that. And then we really, this is what we have, but I did want to kind of chat with you all and see questions, ideas, just kind of open up a time of discussion now with you all.
I also want to say that even in a day that you are not with your child, you can also come and visit me. We will be there and I'll be more than happy to help you, not only me, but also my colleagues. And I'm also going to add the link of the nest in case you guys have any other questions or something that you guys want to chat more privately. You guys can do that in there. And yeah, we'll be answering those emails and just trying to create this community and build this new nest with all of you guys. So I'll be adding the link right now, and you guys can ask or add anything or any information and anything in there that it can help us to like build this community and create the nest even more.
Thank you so much, Emily. I'm so glad that you addressed again the integration of faculty and staff, into our kind of vision for the nest, because it's always included faculty and staff. And I know that virtually in the offerings, there's already been conversations that have been opened up, both on campus with those who are working on campus, as well as students. So there's been support that has happened. We're just looking to consolidate it and kind of bring more of an audience. So thanks, Tracy, for your comments. Yeah, I would love to send you some things out, and then we would like to, I see your message about promotion materials. I'd love to send you some things, and then also perhaps table. Emily has done a couple of tabling events, but we have a couple more people who could participate. Yeah, so great. I see, Paulo, you asked about how the nest is being promoted to students and who can benefit from the resource. Thanks so much. So we actually Jennifer and I just had a recent conversation that we said there are qualifications. One of the things that we've been able to support the nest coming to campus is a grant called the Campus Grant, which is a combination of supporting the Child Development Center, but also it is supporting families through the nest as well. That's a partial thing. There are some designations in terms of like you're a student parent and your child is, dependent, right? Which would define them as 17 and younger. But in terms of the nest, we're also looking beyond those qualifications of just grant funding. So as I mentioned before, students are welcome, like all students are welcome to come to the nest, really. And we decided if we get very, very busy, then we'll have that discussion and what that looks like as well. Did I capture that right, Jennifer? Okay.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, and then the other piece that I just wanted to address in Paulo's question was how it's marketing. So we have been we've been anticipating the physical space. And so now that we have pretty much everything will be there within the next week or so, and then we're kind of adding those kind of layers. Services will start September 1st, and then with that we'll be doing things like A-frames, using social media. I can't wait for Emily Salgado to return on Monday, and she's going to do a lot of that help support, tabling, all of those things. But those of you who are experts in student support, I'd love to pick your brain and get ideas from you, because I feel like you already know and have experience on that. And I want to really honor that experience that you bring. Anything else I'm missing, Jennifer and Emily? I want to make sure addressing things.
Yeah, we've just been really trying to integrate with student services and being involved in their activities and meetings so that, you know, everybody is aware. And that's kind of like what we're doing here now, is so that, you know, we're just spreading awareness of our program so that, you know, if you see a student struggling, you know, a student parent, you know, or, you know, a student, you know, child, you know, struggling or anything, or just, you know, needing a place to study, you know, send them over to us, you know, with or without their children, we'll take them. And so it might sometimes just nice to have a quiet place to, or it might not be quiet, I should say, but a place to study with a Wi-Fi and, you know, a safe place for your children and whatnot. So we're going to be there, and we just want to make sure that everybody's aware. So we're going to be doing lots of things like Jeanette said, the A-framing, we'll try not to email blast y'all too much, but you might get a couple from us just as we're getting fully open, and just to make sure that everybody knows.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so we're excited. We're just very excited to see students, parents warmly welcomed onto our campus. I do think that there's more of an understanding of holistic, you know, support of all of our students, but to have us be one of the few community colleges that are opening a family resource center for the express design of supporting student parents is really exciting. And if you know kind of the data we kind of shared in previous FLACs and previous presentations, we have a significant number of students who are raising families on our campus, and they need some additional support. And so because we do, because the data on identifying these students is a little trickier, we also need your support on helping to do referrals to us. So maybe one last link in there, the link of links that has the presentation, our website, some of our social media information, and we'll continue to update that same link as we are able to. Any other questions? Anyone want to unmute or chat? I want to give you a little bit of time, and then I'm going to give you back some time. Actually, not really. 3:45 was that ours? No, we're giving back time. Yay. The gift of time. Yeah, Kirsten.
Hi, everyone. Sorry. My name is Kirsten. I had a question, and you might have addressed it. Are you also going to offer like workshops or discussions for those who take care of like maybe even adults, but they're like maybe, you know, chronically ill or, you know, towards the end of their life phase, and students like my student could potentially be the main caretaker? And is there maybe something in the works for those kind of groups?
Yeah, so I mentioned briefly, but it's really helpful. Your question's really helpful because I know that I'm one of those people who are experiencing that as well right now. And so I know that it's not easy to do, you know, when especially at community college, we tend to have populations that are not just your 18 to, you know, 24-year-olds, right? Like we have a diverse in terms of age and family experiences too. That is, I mean, although I have some experience with bereavement and palliative care, it's not my personal expertise. And so that's when connecting with those people who have expertise and bringing them on those topics would be so great, not only to seek expanding services and what that would look like, but also to look at those people perhaps coming as special speakers. The special speakers series is not going to be just us. We're inviting many different others in so that we get a wealth of knowledge. But thank you for that. And if you have ideas for faculty or classified, or you know, anyone who has that expertise in terms of resources or speaking on that, please share with us. Thanks, Kirsten. Okay, so we are going to promise to give back time. Emily, Jennifer, and myself will stay. If you have a more personal question, maybe we can stop the recording and then, or just want to chat more individually or privately because it's more comfortable sometimes. But thank you for being with us today and showing interest in the nest. We really do appreciate you.